Hey guys, this is Rise with Cholera bringing you another entire MST group. This time we got the MSL group 10, and this will complete all of the MSL groups to date from the round of 64 anyway. So really good coverage across the all the commentators here by doing all these events, and pretty impressive, I must say myself. I don't think we've ever actually been able to do this in the past. Anyway, we're going to start off. This group has Type B, it's got BestGod, it's got a couple of other players you might have heard of, Fantasy and Quanro. Those two players are the ones I'm thinking are probably favored to move on, so we might already be watching the two losers here. Who knows? But we were surprised in the last group that we did with the two less favored players moving on. Those players were Tempest and Hyuk. So that was actually Group 12's set, so we're actually a little behind in doing this one, but no big deal. Anyway, Type B versus BestGod. Cholera, you want to tell us about these two?
Yeah, absolutely. But before I do, actually, I just want to point you guys to the front page of st2g.com. If you guys can't find out where our videos are, and I can understand it's hard, there's a link now on the top bar that says MSL, and if you click it and you click the 20th, actually no, it's not called the 20th MSL. We actually know the name of this MSL. It's the Lost Saga MSL. If you click Lost Saga MSL, you will actually have a graphical page with all of the games and the brackets, and there will be links to every single commentary we've done so far on there. So it is a lot easier than trying to find it in your YouTube accounts. But basically, every group's been done by myself, Rise, Diggity, or Moletrap. You know, us four have done every group in the MSL Survivor Tournament, and will most likely be doing every group in the actual MSL. So it's definitely been an exciting season. Sorry, I haven't really talked about these two players. Type B is a Zerg player on OGN Sparkies. His blood is actually Type B blood. He wasn't very creative, so he decided in case he ever had a medical emergency, they would know he was Type B. But he's actually a decent Zerg player. He's 5-4 this season in Pro League, and he has 50% stats, I think, against Protoss. But, you know, BestGod is not such a good a player, and maybe you can tell me a little bit more about him.
Yeah, BestGod is just, he's bad BestGod. He doesn't have a very good record right now. He's like, I don't know, 30 or 40% win rate. Let me check that real quick for you. Yeah, he's actually 37, 35% win rate. And against Zerg, he's horrible. I'm not going to list those stats just in case they are reflective of this game. I don't actually know. But in case they point that out, I'd hate to spoil or anything. But as of looking at his stats, they are very bad. He does have some wins, but
under
most
20%.
Are loses. Yeah, exactly, under 20%. So I think that BestGod has a lot of work to do if he's going to get out of this entire series against two Zergs, and both of which are his worst matchup. On the other hand, Type B, not a bad player. He's actually pretty decent. I think he's 5-4 this season. Is that what we saw?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so he's okay. So he has a pretty decent chance, a fighting chance anyway. But I'd say that Fantasy and Quanro are the heavy favorites here. Although Quanro is a fairly inconsistent player himself, so I'm not going to actually hold myself to that. I am going to say that Fantasy is definitely favored to get out, though, having gone very far in the past. Anyway, they're playing on Byzantium 2. We got Type B in the 11 o'clock position. He's going for, what was that, a 6 pool or a 5 pool?
Oh my god, yeah.
Excuse me. That's a 5 pool.
That looks
so we may be seeing a fast game here.
And this is really bad for Type B, because he's going to get scouted immediately here from BestGod, who officially has the cockiest name in the pro StarCraft scene, BestGod. He's not only a god, he is the best god. But anyway, here is the 5 pool here from Type B, who is in such fear of the best deity out there that he can only do a 5 pool, and he's really unlucky. He's going to get scouted, and I can understand why he's doing it, because this is a rather Protoss favorite map, as I keep saying, in the PvZ lineup, historically at least, and you know, he wants to do the best he can. Here comes the Forge up for BestGod, and we'll see if he decides to put a cannon inside of his mineral lines, or if he tries to defend that Forge with cannons up there. We've seen both options are possible.
We've also seen cheese on this map where the person getting cheesed has no problem defending. Well, no, I shouldn't say no problem, but but manages to defend it and come back to win the game. Of course, I'm not going to spoil which game that is, but make sure you check out Group 12. It'll still be a pretty new game at this point, so make sure you watch the entire set. Definitely do it. There are some epic games in there. Anyway, that probe trying to slow down those lings as much as possible, staying in the line of travel to try to buy some time so some cannons can be built at the main base. That means that the expansion forge and pylon are probably going to go down. I don't think there's much that BestGod can do to take care of that, but it looks like they are going to be okay for now.
Yeah, this looks like it's the standard response here against a 5-pool. Oh, looks like these lings are going to go in. They're going to see the cannon, going to try to pick off some probes. Having a little bit of trouble there, microing those lings actually. Only gets one probe, but he doesn't lose any lings of his own. So decent micro from both players, I guess. And now we're going to actually see just an interesting build here. Basically, it's going to be a low econ Zerg on 2 bases versus a 1 base Protoss. And, you know, if the Protoss doesn't get instantly killed in this situation, they actually are in a bit of a lead, even if they lose this forge and a pylon, because they immediately have that gateway up, they have a cannon to defend, and then they can play a 1 base game fairly safely. And looks like we're having, oh man, Type B once again getting foiled here in his expansion attempt. So things not going really well here for Type B. Had the scouting patterns gone differently, of course, he could have gotten an instant win here in this game, possibly.
But BestGod's PVZ record is so bad that I have all the faith in the world that he will still manage to lose the game at this point. I'll be amazed if he can win it, even this far ahead. Definitely, he's got a serious economic advantage at this point, and Type B is going to have to go mass drone for a while to get anywhere back into this game, although it looks like he's kind of caught up at this point. He must have only made the 6 lings, and obviously with his Overlord scouting, he knew that he had to go back to a regular type of build. It looks like that hatchery is actually going inside his base. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Is that a 3rd hatchery? It looks like he managed to get his, he might have managed to get his expansion as well as put down a 3rd hatchery, so it would seem that he's not doing as bad in the mineral count that I thought he was, and he may be able to pop out plenty of links to get out of this and survive pretty well. But in the meantime, a Stargate going down for BestGod, and I'm not sure if he knows what to do from this position, to be honest, because it seems like he's going for the Forge Expand build without the Forge Expand, and I don't know how that's going to pay off in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen this build before. This is a very fast 1 base DT Sair build that he's going for right now. He needs to, of course, do a lot of damage with his Corsairs, so he can't just use them to scout like you would with a 2 base build. Oh, looks like a couple links might be able to pick off that pylon. That is one strangely positioned pylon, I gotta say. Do not know why it's there. But it looks like the hatchery is up here at the natural expansion, and we're going to see 3 hatch Hydras coming from the Zerg player Type B. And it's a smart build, I think, because, you know, his opponent is only at 1 base. He might be able to destroy him with just 3 hatch Hydras, or he might be able to contain them in his base. And anyway, I think he knows that Corsairs are coming, so he's going to need some anti-air anyway. So he's not going to rush up the tech tree. He's just going to play it relatively safe. That Overlord, I think, is going to get away. Yep. But the Corsair will pick it off, and we'll see if this this DT attack manages to do anything. I don't see the Templar Archives yet. I see a Forge being rebuilt now for BestGod, and you know, we'll see how well he does, if he can show that he is the best god, or if he's just going to turn out to be some crappy deity like, I don't know, Persephone or
Narcissus.
Or Vulcan.
No, he's
Vulcan. Vulcan, the really ugly
Vulcan
guy who just makes lightning bolts for Jupiter and gets cheated on by his wife.
All right, Greek mythology, Roman mythology, whatever the case, we don't care. No, I'm kidding. Looks like he is going to go for Mass Hydra, though, and I think that, yeah, he's got him out in time to deal with the Corsairs, so BestGod not going to be able to do too much harassment at this point. We did see a Citadel, and I think we saw a Templar Archives. I wasn't completely paying attention at the moment that they showed his base, but yep, I think we may have seen it. And now the Nexus, yeah, there's the Templar Archive. So I'm sure we're going to see some DTs pop out, but he's only got the single gateway. And so 1 gateway pumping DTs is not going to be too effective for a little while anyway. If Type B manages to get Overlord speed, which he doesn't have a lair, so it doesn't look like that's going to happen, he'd be in pretty good shape actually to deal with this. But considering he doesn't, it's going to be a little bit of a hassle dealing with DTs unless he can get enough Overlords. But oh no, almost going down. I thought it was going to go down to the Goon and Corsair, and now Type B knows exactly what's going on. He's got to know that there's going to be some sort of DTs, but he's got to protect that Overlord. And in the meantime, more cannons going up the base, and a Dark Templar is out. So if only that Overlord was a little quicker, he might be able to do some damage before those cannons goes down. He's going to try to drag out those Zealots over and over. And oh, no, but the Overlord goes down at the last second, and now Type B forced to move back and probably get some sort of lair tech so he can actually have fast Overlords to deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, very close thing there. Of course, had the Overlord had more health, I think it could have turned out very differently there. We could be seeing the front door breaking right now, but it looks like instead, BestGod's going to continue with the advantage here. He has gotten his second base up. He has managed to, ward off the Hydralisk attack, and now he has DT tech, and he might actually be able to sneak it in. We'll see how careful Type B is. It looks like he is playing rather carefully. He's got a Sunken Colony and 3 Overlords, so probably not going to sneak in. However, he could still use it to deny scouting, or deny expanding, rather, and it looks like, yeah, he's not going to sneak in. But, right now, I think it's BestGod's game to lose here. I mean, right now, you should have the game, in a decent position. He just needs to get a couple more High Templar, though, because it looks like the Hydras are going in, and BestGod does not have a DT there. I don't know what happened to his other DT.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really bad for BestGod, but as expected, he is a little bit of a yuck himself. He's got 3 morphed-in cannons and 3 more morphing in, so as long as, Type B continue taking out those cannons as they go up, it doesn't look like he has Storm upgraded yet either, as he continues to have a Templar sitting back there. And, probes are coming out, as there is only one cannon left,
Ouch.
And those Zealots are getting microed heavily, and Type B actually doing a great job of just destroying the cannons in front of Type B's base. I'm sorry, BestGod's base. And a DT from the back, but not going to do anything. One cannon left. Storm finally comes out, but it doesn't look like he's got enough to do more than one Storm. And now that's going to spell a lot of trouble for BestGod. And I don't know if he's going to be able to come out of this. Probes all over the place. Oh, good Storm there, taking out a lot of probes as well. And more Hydras coming in to reinforce, and still only one cannon. And he's got to be out of Storm by this point. And he is, as he makes an Archon.
Wow, I gotta say, that was a mistake there. BestGod playing a little overconfidently, not leaving one DT for defense. I guess he only made one DT total, and the Archon goes down now. So right now he's got nothing but 2 cannons and some morphing in and just gateway production, wherever he can produce out of his one freaking gateway that he has. Yeah. Oh, wow, BestGod, man, you are not the best god. There are many, many gods better than you. You're not even a good god. Sorry. He's combined the name Best, who is a very good Pro Ross player, and God, who I would assume be a good Pro Ross player. Instead, he sucks, so he doesn't deserve this name. But BestG is going to lose this game, it seems. These probes are supposed to be mining, and those cannons are way expensive, so he really cannot produce at this point. And, one gateway only right now. Obviously, he's had to spend all of his minerals on cannons, and just more probes going down here, more units. That pylon's going to go down. That's going to be it once the pylon goes down.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. God must be one of those words that translates to a different word in Korean than what it does in English, because there's no way that he could really be referring to himself as BestGod. I mean, come on, how did he lose that game, man?
I think he is. I think he does call himself BestGod, and I think God's punishing him with horrible play. GG.
GG. He should change it to Epic Fail. I mean, it'd be a much more suitable name for him.
Well,
anyway, GG. See you guys in the next set.